Going to get distracted. Thank you so much for having me here today. I really appreciate it. It's the first time I've been in simultaneous translation, so forgive me for my little juggling of tools. I'm really excited about the opportunity. Before we get into the fireside chat, I think what I'd like to do is to kind of give you a little bit of an overview about what we think about as the careers of the future. I think it's fantastic that Korea is so focused on developing software engineering and software education, and I've been hearing about the fantastic work that the association's been doing, and it's really amazing to see. But I think before we talk about how to do that and what are the opportunities and what are the challenges, one of the things that we need to talk about is why. Why does this matter? And why it matters is that the economic base of both of our countries, but even globally, is changing. Korea has traditionally been, I understand, a manufacturing base. Australia has been very reliant on minerals and exports, but those things actually aren't working for us quite so well as they used to. And the careers in the future are going to be largely focused around software engineering, even in other disciplines. So this isn't something new though, and so I want to just give you a really quick overview about some of the opportunities and some of the careers that we're seeing in the future and what we're thinking about and what we're excited about, and we hope that you'll be excited about them too. So career changes with technology is nothing new. I want to give you a couple of quick examples. Whoops. Careers have always changed as technology has been developed. So the gentleman over here on your left, he had a job called a knocker-upper, and what his job was to do was to go around the houses in London of the factory workers during the Industrial Revolution and wake them up. The alarm clock made his career slightly redundant. This one over here, he's gaslighting lamps. So before the invention of electricity in our mains lightings on our streets, this is another career that technology kind of disrupted. The one on the left, ice cutters out cutting ice, that was before modern refrigeration was invented. The one on the right, maybe a little controversial because it's children, but they're pin setters in a bowling alley. So before we invented automation and automated pin setting, this was a career that used to exist. So technology has a long history of disrupting careers, and it's continuing today. And with the rapid pace of technology, we're seeing more and more careers emerge that never existed before. So let me give you some example of some of the current careers that we're seeing, which is really interesting. So in 2014, LinkedIn looked at every single one of its over 250 million global members, and what they were looking for was the top 10 career titles or job title listings that didn't exist in 2008. So emerging careers that only emerged within 5 years. And these were the top 10. iOS developer, Android developer, Zumba instructor, let's not worry about the Zumba, social media intern, data scientist, UI and UX designers, big data architects, Beachbody coach, cloud service specialist, and digital marketing specialist. All of these careers, bar two, have a computer science component to them. And what's really staggering is when I show this list to people, everyone goes, iOS developers, Android developers, but I know somebody that's an Android developer or an iOS developer. Well, 10 years ago, we didn't have either one of those devices. There were no careers in that field. Now it's prevalent everywhere. So this is the pace of technology moving forward is what's driving new careers, and we really need to make sure that we're equipping the next generation and the kids that are growing up today to be a part of these emerging careers, because we don't know exactly what they're all going to be. So let's talk about some other current careers that we see a lot of in the market globally. App designers, app developers, market research data miners, UX experience designers, website designers, big data analysts, data scientists, video journalists, SEO specialists, internet marketers, online business managers, content strategists. All of these careers have a computer science component to them, but very few of them say software engineer or programmer. So one of the things I think is really important for us to know is that learning computer science is not just about becoming a software engineer. It's actually about every career having software at the heart of it, and you need to learn how to code and how to program and understand what computational thinking is. But let's look forward, let's start looking forward into the careers of the future, because this is where the potential is, and this is where the potential lies for your kids, for your students, and maybe for some of those of you who are thinking about changing careers as well. It's never too late. So what I like to talk about this is, I like to think about it as CS plus X, computer science plus X, where X is another discipline. It's the problem that you're trying to solve, or it's your other passion other than computer science, because not everybody loves computer science when they start out. And this is where really exciting stuff happens. This is where innovation happens. This is where new industry happens. And it happens in every single vertical. So let me give you a couple of quick examples. So this is Danielle Feinberg. She doesn't work for Google. She works for Pixar. So the people that put out all the really cool animated movies that a lot of people go and see. I'm probably not always one of them, sorry. But if they're on the planes, I watch them when I travel. So her job title is Director of Lighting at Pixar. And what she has is this really cool career that combines CS, computer science, plus art. And she's not lighting movie sets in the traditional way. She's not lighting the stage like these lights are lighting me right now. She's actually writing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lines of code to push pixels around, to light animated movies, to make companies millions of dollars to entertain us. That is not the typical computer science career that we think of, but isn't it cool? Like, who doesn't want that job? I do, even though I don't really watch animated film. It's pretty cool. This is one of my favorite examples. This is a smart contact lens. How many people, can I get a show of hands, how many people know somebody with diabetes? There's quite a few of you. So diabetes is one of the biggest challenges that we're facing medically in the world, the management of it and the long-term health implications of it. This is actually a project that came out of Google's X Labs called Project Iris, and it's a smart contact lens. And for people that are trying to live with diabetes and manage their diabetes, what this contact lens does is, as you wear it, it can provide real-time tracking from the saline in your eye of your blood glucose levels, and through the tiny little transistor and chip that you can see there that's magnified, send live alerts to your smartphone, and if you share the data in due course, I think, with your medical practitioner, and help you manage your diabetes in real time. What that means is better quality of life, and what that also means is that people may not have some of the ongoing health implications that diabetes can cause. So this is an example of a CS plus medicine career, computer science plus medicine. If you only study medicine, you would never know that there's technology out there to invent this. If you only study computer science, you don't understand what the challenges are in the medical space. So it's when you get people that have an understanding of both and look at the big problems of the world and say, how can we possibly solve them? That's where this occurs, and that to me is really exciting. This is another one, I love this, it's cute. This kind of looks like, I like to think it looks like a little bit like a koala. Maybe that's just the Australian in me and it's in America, but this is our self-driving car. And this is a great intersection between computer science and transport, or mechanical engineering, or automation, automotive design. One of the really cool things when you talk to the self-driving car team is, yes, it's solving big problems. The World Health Organization tells us that there's over 1 million people die in road fatalities every year, and the number one cause of those fatalities is humans, because we're bad drivers, typically, or we drink, or we text, or we do things we shouldn't do when we're driving. So not only does this have the potential to solve this, but what I really love is when you look at self-driving cars, you don't actually start with changing the car. You start with a computational and computer science problem of pattern recognition, of being able to interpret data live in real time, to take that in, to analyze it, to understand and interpret it and say, what is happening on this street around me? And you have to look at models and prediction and go, well, how do I respond to that? And actually the last piece that you do is modify the car or build a new car, as we've kind of done. But it's a really interesting space where I don't think 15 years ago many people would say, I'm going to grow up and I'm going to work on self-driving cars and they're going to be on the road everywhere. And I'm going to have and that's going to be a computer science career. This is another one which I really love. This is something from the Not Impossible Labs. It's called Project Daniel. And there's a guy called Mick Ibler, and he basically has an understanding of biomechanics or the body and how the body moves and works, and computer science. And he was really moved by the situation in the Sudan where people had lost a lot of limbs because of the challenges of what is happening in that country. And he actually, with his knowledge of both of these disciplines, decided to travel there and take his computer and a low-cost 3D printer and actually work to print prosthetic limbs. Average prosthetic limbs start at a cost of $20,000 upwards. There's no way these people could ever afford it. He can print them for, I think, under $6 American. But he didn't just go there to print the limbs. He actually trained the people that worked in the community hospitals and centres on how to actually take their knowledge of biomechanics, and he gave them some basic computer science knowledge and helped them to be able to bring this solution to help with people, and I think that's pretty awesome. This one is still to be unknown. This is a computer science plus fashion. So this is something that we announced at Google I/O this year, and this is the intersection between technology and fabric or fashion, and it's something we've been developing. I can't tell you exactly how it works or what the opportunities are right now because this is brand new, but what we're hoping to do with this, in being able to weave technology and literally weave transistors and components right into the very heart of our fabric, we're really hoping that developers and people out there will actually take this to the next step and develop wearable technologies that we can't even imagine yet, that we don't even understand, and that we'll be able to interact with technologies in new ways. And these are the kind of careers of the future that get me really excited, and I think these are the sorts of things that we want to bring into the conversation about why computer science matters and how to get kids excited about computer science and software engineering, because these are the kind of careers we want to inspire them to build. So a lot of people, I remember when I was growing up, don't know what you want to do when you grow up. I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up. I'm pretty happy now at Google, but I'm not sure what I want to do next, and I don't know. But I really love the idea that we can tell kids this message, that if you can learn computer science, if you can learn software engineering and coding, if you can find the problems that you're really interested in, learn the other disciplinary skills that you need, you don't need to find a job, you can create a job. I mean, we're in Campus Seoul right now. This is the home of startups. You could be the person that actually brings those two skills together and creates a new industry and you could create the next Google in Korea that goes global from day one. I mean, how cool would that be? So I think this is going to be my final thought, and before we get into the fireside chat, but I think it's absolutely critical that every student has the opportunity to learn computer science, because the reality is that the world that we're in, technology is becoming ubiquitous. We engage with it every single day through everything we do, and that's only going to increase. And so if we don't teach our kids this, if we don't give them some basics and some groundings in it, they are going to miss out on being creators of their own future. But I do have this hope, this is my sort of slide here, I do have this hope that as we get more kids engaged, as everybody does learn computer science and coding, then actually the technology fades to the background, because everybody is capable of it and everybody has some competency in it. And actually then it becomes ubiquitous in every industry, in travel, in manufacturing, in food, in fibre, in technology, in every area, in medicine, history, you name it. And that technology becomes the background and the other discipline becomes the foreground. So what we end up with is X plus CS, and that's how you design your future career. So that's kind of the thoughts that I wanted to start us with off tonight. So thank you very much for allowing me to speak on that, and I'll leave that one there. And I haven't got my phone open, so give me a kill. Come, suck me down. I'm still learning.